Hi, my name is Keira O'Connor, and I am a fourth year at Northeastern. I am in my +1, so I graduated undergrad in December 2024 with Master's in International Business, and I'm graduating in May of 2025 with my Master's in International Management. Throughout my time at Northeastern, I've completed 2 co-ops and an internship. My first co-op was in industrial security at Keira, and my second co-op was at the U.S. Embassy in Paris, where I was on the Foreign Commercial Service team there. And throughout both of my co-ops, I learned a lot, and they weren't super similar. And going into the co-op experience, I didn't really have any idea what I wanted to do. And I came across my first one, and it seemed a little bit more out there. It wasn't necessarily like straight business. It wasn't exactly what I thought that I was going to be interested in, but it seemed like an awesome learning opportunity, so I took it. And throughout that, I learned so much, and I built so many great connections, and I realized that it wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. However, I was able to take all those skills I learned in that experience, and I was able to kind of figure out what I wanted to do next and build off of that. And had I not have had that experience, I never would have been able to be where I am today, and I never would have kind of thought about how to get from point A to point B, and what I liked and what I didn't like, and how to apply that to a new experience. And then for my second co-op, I was in Paris, which was awesome. It was really exciting to be able to kind of do a co-op abroad. Not a lot of people can say that they got to work abroad in their college experience, which was super awesome, but it was definitely a very scary but exciting experience, moving all the way across the world without knowing anyone, without knowing the language, without kind of knowing what to expect either. It was a lot, but it ended up being probably my most exciting and rewarding experience at Northeastern, and I kind of have grown a lot as a person because of it, which is also really awesome. And I think Northeastern giving people those opportunities and having those connections with companies globally is really awesome and such an amazing thing to be able to take advantage of. And in Paris, I was kind of given a lot more responsibility than my first co-op. There were a lot more projects, and it was also really exciting because I was kind of helping to lead some of these projects, which was also really cool, and a lot of people in their internships or co-ops might not get that experience, so I was really fortunate to get that, and I really appreciated everything that my advisors and bosses have done for me. But there I was able to help lead a roadshow in the south of France to connect US states with French startups, and then I was also helping with a magazine that Meta, one of the largest hiring agencies in France, puts together, and they did a US edition. So with this magazine, I helped to interview some higher ups in the US embassy and the ambassador to France. I wrote an article about her, which was also really awesome, and that got distributed, which was really cool to have a physical product of something that I did and be able to see kind of how that came about, and also seeing how this roadshow that I helped put together as well, I was there from the start to the end of it, which was also really cool to see kind of that tangible evidence that, okay, not only did I learn something, but I made an impact here, and I think that's one of the most valuable things about co-op. And without co-op and my experience at Northeastern, I wouldn't have had a clear idea of what I want to do with my future, and now I do. Going into college, I was kind of a little lost with that, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. And while my path wasn't as perfect as getting a first co-op and knowing exactly what you want to do and doing that for the rest of your time, I think I learned so much, and I definitely grew as a person, and I was able to kind of narrow down what I did and didn't like and figure out how to apply all of these things that I learned and do it before I graduated, which is really awesome. So I now have a narrowed down idea of what I want to do, which is strategy or management consulting for a global company. And I'm applying to jobs right now, post-grad for that, which is really exciting. And I would have never gotten to that point had I not done this. And I think co-op is a super awesome learning experience. And one of my biggest pieces of advice would be to not put yourself in a box, to definitely, if there's something that you think interests you, try it out, hear it out, do some research into it, don't think that you have to go one way or another unless you're sure about it. Yes, definitely. But if you're not 100% sure about what you want to do, that's totally okay. And that's what this whole entire experience is for. And take advantage of it while you can.